Welcome to the Migrant Resource Centre, Northwest Region Incorporated Diversity and Disability YouTube channel. Your Life, Your Voice program, where self-advocates and professionals in the disability sector are interviewed.
The Diversity and Disability Project would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we work and live and recognise their continued connection to land, water and community. We pay respects to elders past, present and emerging.
Nothing about us without us. We pay respects to all self-advocates who have worked hard over the years and are still working tirelessly for their rights, supporting others with disabilities and human rights for all.
This channel is for people with disabilities who aspire to seek self-advocacy role models to inspire change in their everyday lives. Nothing about us without us. Choice and control are central themes. Every interview is as unique as you and I.
And it has a fundamental universal human rights ethos of respect for persons with disabilities, having their views heard and acknowledged. After all, it's all in the name. Your life, your voice.
Be the voice of change in your life.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of Your Life, Your Voice. I'd like to welcome my guest co-host, Antony. Hey, Antony.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hi, Julie. Yeah, I'm doing very well, thank you.
Cool,
Yeah,
great.
great to be here.
That's wonderful. So we mentioned last episode that Larissa's having a little break, as we all do, to rejuvenate. And so Anthony and Larissa will be sharing the guest co-host roles. So today we thought we'd talk about happiness. And because we know that over the past couple of years, a lot of people have been challenged with the lockdowns and COVID, and now we're coming out of that. And so we thought we'd give you some tips and some music around happiness and just a general discussion. How does that sound, Antony?
Sounds great. Looking forward to it.
Cool. So the website that I also use Voices Together, and it's available to everyone, and it's a great resource. It's a resource from SARU, Self Advocacy Resource Unit. So how about we get cracking?
Yep, let's do it.
Happy is the way I am, like I've won a grand slam. Happy in my life, no trouble and strife. Happy makes my world go round. Happy is my stable ground in my final hour. Happy will always be my power. I have a special message for you. Say happy things, think happy things. Happy, 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 ha, ha, ha. Happy will get inside of you. Take a friend in hand, or if you wish, make a stand. Or take them to your favorite coffee place. See that smile grow on their face. Happy makes me feel good, like I promised to you it would. Today I feel great, I think it must be fate. Reinforced has given me true mates. Come on, be happy, ha ha ha. Happy will get inside of you.
Wow, I like it. I like it.
So there you go.
That was great.
So what are some things that make you happy, Anthony?
Well, just thinking about music and my background in music as being a musician, like, you know, for me, music has been a big part of what's made me happy. So, and I'm sure a lot of other people out there, you know, music is one of those magical things that can, you know, touch your emotions in different ways. You know, it's very healing, and I can think of many parts, you know, many different situations I've been in throughout my life that I feel like, you know, music has brought me through, you know, difficult stages. You know, whether, you know, the relationship issues, things like that, or, you know, just you know, just the world sort of getting on top of you and things like that. And, you know, you can put on a song and then, you know, you can instantly change your mood. And I feel, you know, that's extremely powerful because, you know, we are driven by a lot of our emotions, and, you know, having a way of you know, changing your emotion to a positive emotion in a quick way is, you know, I think it's a great thing to be able to do. And for artists and musicians out there to be able to create music that can help people like that is, I think, is amazing, and is a huge part of, you know, why I'm so passionate about music.
Yeah. So what a great response, Anthony. Yeah. Anthony and I connected a few years ago. I wrote a song for my great niece, and Anthony put the music to it. And every time I play it, I don't put it online because for copyright reasons. But every time I play it, people are so touched. So music, as we know, it's an expression of love, and so that will be forever, forever when I leave this earth, as we all will one day. My niece will have an everlasting gift that I've given her. Yes, so
It's beautiful.
that makes me really happy. Yes, so it makes me really happy. And when I played it to her for her birthday, unfortunately, the day before her christening, which was intended, the song was intended for, I got hit with COVID the day before. So
Oh
I
no.
was very disappointed. I was very disappointed. So, but I did the right thing, you know, not let it affect people, you know, for the sake of being at a party. So you have to be responsible, and we all have to be responsible for our own lives and how that affects other people. But a year later, she had her first birthday, and I played it for her then. And she was only about 10 months old, and she responded really lovingly. So there's a picture of me smiling because she responded to the song when the song was played, and also a lot of people came up to me and said they had tears in their eyes. So our collaboration actually has been a hit.
Oh, that's great to hear.
So I'm very proud of the song that we wrote together, or I wrote, you put the music to. And so, yeah, it's a constant joy of happiness. So every chance I get, I play it to people. And some people have remembered it months later and said, oh, they remember the song and the intention. So it's really lovely. So, so little gifts like that make me really happy.
Yeah, I love hearing stories like that because look, music is one of those things that captures, captures a moment. I always, when in a recording session, you know, uh, I always believe, it's not just the voice or the instrument that gets recorded; it's the emotion that um, is in the room at the time of that recording gets captured, and that's what I call the magic. And it's beautiful because it lasts forever.
Yeah, so it does last forever. So yeah, so you know, I mean, there's lots of uh, talk about the cost of living and stuff like that, which it's affecting everyone. Pardon me. And there are lots of inexpensive ways we can be happy. Some of them is like getting out in the sun, and vitamin D a vitamin that we all need. And in Australia, because of our our skin cancer issues, people, well, there's two sides to it. People are getting less cancer, which is really good. But also on the flip side, people aren't getting enough vitamin D. And I heard recently that there's a formula. They calculated this formula, and it depends on a few factors like your skin color. But for the average person, for the average Anglo person, you only need about 5 or 10 minutes a day in sun to get the vitamin D level necessary for the day. So I was actually quite surprised with that formula, and it just makes me realise, so you don't need to burn yourself and expose yourself to sun damage and cancer to get the vitamin D that you're after. Also, if you sort of like expose your body 5 or 10 minutes a day to expose your skin, that would be like really good. So you get into the garden, put some shorts on, or have a t-shirt on or a tank top, and that would give you the vitamin D necessary to boost your immune system, which is very important, and that will increase your endorphins and your positivity, and will give you a better outlook in life. So vitamin D, yay!
Yes, vitamin D is definitely an important vitamin to have, and lucky in Australia have most of the time we have an abundance of it, and yes, and I guess that's very interesting. The 5 to 10 minutes is all it takes. But I guess if people out there are thinking they may be deficient, then it'd be a good idea to see your doctor and sort of figure out what your levels are, and whether what you can do about it. Because I've heard that a lot of people are deficient in vitamin D. I feel like I should be getting more, and yeah, and all the vitamins are uh, great to keep all your levels up to keep yourself healthy, and that definitely goes a long way to make you happy if you're healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of because D&D, its main focus is cultural and linguistically diverse communities, otherwise known as COLD, and a lot of COLD um, uh, cohorts, people that are a bit older, they associate disability and health. So just because you have a disability doesn't mean you're not healthy. So yes, so and you're not happy. So that's a really important point to to get across. So and so other things that make me happy are having parties, going for coffee. Uh, you know, um, yeah, coffee's a good circuit breaker. It lifts my mood, and it's a very cheap form of getting out there and being in the community. Yeah, so there's lots of really inexpensive ways you can be happy. I've had a couple of parties lately, I just celebrated a birthday, and you see flowers in my background. Yeah,
Congratulations, happy birthday.
thank you. It was a couple of weeks ago, so I had a couple of get-togethers. I know a lot of people. I know I kind of have lots of friends, so I sort of like have to get together. I have to get together with people in June, but this June has been particularly busy because I've been in my house now for a long time, and I've never had officially blessed by a
Hmm.
priest. I'm quite religious. I have faith, and that's another thing that keeps me happy and connected to community. Because you can say unfortunately or fortunately, depending on your view. I don't have family. I have some family members I connect with, but people are busy. I'm busy. People are busy. So I see my faith community every week. So that's another way that keeps my mind and body connected to people of like-minded people. So we have coffee after mass, and we have chats after mass. And so on the weekend, I had a house blessing. I've been living in my house for 26 years. It was long overdue, and I had a bit of a party, a bit of a thank you for people for supporting me over the years. And so that made me really happy that I can give something back to them and show appreciation. You don't have to have a big party to show appreciation. And a thank you, just those really basic social skills, of gratitude and friendship go a long way to lift people's moods. Yes, so other ways, yeah, I do like cooking, baking, and cooking. And I like people experiencing my food. So quite often I take food into the office, and people scurry around to So yes, so having a skill, building a skill, learning a skill makes me happy. And mastering a skill.
Yeah, definitely. I actually um, get a lot of enjoyment out of learning something new. Like, there I might have a problem with my tap in my house, and then with the beauty of the internet, I can look up and try and find a way to fix it. So, and I guess probably 9 out of 10 times I've done that, I've actually been able to fix something. So that makes me extremely happy.
Yeah, well, funny you should say that because I've got a leaky tap at the moment. So part of this coming later on. I've got a good relationship with tradies.
Mhm.
Because I'm a woman living on my own, and I need tradies because I'm not very good with my hands. So I'm good with other things. I'm good with like being friendly. I'm a people's person, but I've got fine motor issues, so I'm not really good with my hands. So yes, and yes, so I've got a public to. I had an offer on the weekend for a husband. My friend's husband's come around and helped me with different things, and that's another thing that makes me happy. Having that connection with people,
Yeah,
that we help each other out in difficult times. Yes, so
definitely.
yes, so yes, so. Anyway, so let's brainstorm some other inexpensive ways to make us happy. So let's see, having a sweet,
Yeah,
happy.
yep. I guess exercise is a great one. Like you know, it um, produces endorphins that brings the happy chemistry through your body. Um,
Yeah, I mean, like a long time ago, I was quite severely ill in hospital, and and I think happiness is a state of mind. So I was in hospital for quite a while, about 2 months, and and um, and I had lots of visitors, lots of friends. I'm involved in prayer groups, and I had lots of visitors, and uh, I mean I'm part of, they call it praise and worship groups, and and one time I was in hospital. It was morning. I was flicking through the channels, and the praise and worship. I found the praise and worship on just a free to air TV, and I was very croaky because I was quite ill in hospital, and my voice was really croaky. But I was singing hospital, and I was right across. I was right across the nurses' station, and it was really funny because I heard them say, "Oh, she's singing," and like it was really funny. It was really funny because, as you can imagine, after 2 months in hospital, I had lots of nurses come because they work shift work, and what I realised is that a lot of the nurses wanted to be my nurse for the day, and it was really quite lovely to have that connection with our health professionals. And yes, so I think I'm quite a philosophical person. We would have lovely chats because I had lots of time in the hospital to think about things. And but it was nice to have that connection with health workers. And some of the health workers were from my parish also, so I had benefit of the benefit of uh, my faith community praying for me, and it was very healing. It was a very healing time in my life. I'm quite reflective.
yeah, that's beautiful, and yeah, I think that you can find really great relationships at church groups and even hobby groups that you attend. About building those great connections in your life, and those can enrich your life through your ups and downs, and just sharing experiences.
Yeah, so look, depression is a very real thing, especially now. It's been so it was always a big issue in society, but with the recent COVID scenarios, it's really been highlighted in society, and uh, and um, it may be easier said that depression is a state of mind, but there are lots of stages of depression, and some people can be chronically depressed, and they will need professional help, and I urge people to seek professional help, but also to be encouraged, to understand the triggers of depression, and some may be situational. So after the situation is resolved, then you're feeling better. But other forms of depression could be like you may need some medication. And I encourage people to go to your health professionals to seek professional help. And I've heard lots of good stories about people recovering from depression, and so it may be a bit of a journey that you have to take, I was on some pills a while ago, and I had to figure out a few things in my life, and and you may need to experiment with different forms of depression. Some might make you ill, some might be better than others. So I encourage people to do that research with your health professional. Yes. So what other forms of inexpensive
I think um, writing, like writing poetry, writing songs, writing stories. Um, a lot of people get enjoyment out of that. Other things like maybe learning a new instrument, playing an instrument.
a lot of my friends are artists. So many friends are artists.
Mm,
I have both Indigenous friends through the South African movement, and I have a broad range of friends. And so art is a very, very good expression of uh, keeping you busy, your mind's busy. It may be a new skill. It may be like, and you may take to it like duck to water. I know my other co-host, Larissa, and many of my co-hosts in the past actually are artists, and such beautiful artwork. And Larissa actually became an artist after her brain injury. Before her brain injury, she could not. She wasn't an artist, but she developed that skill after a brain injury. Um, the brain is a very very interesting um, muscle. I think it's a muscle. It's a muscle, and um, with with certain brain injuries, it unlocks. I think that I've actually read or heard that the average person uses about 10% of their brain, so that's 90%. That's a big chunk of the brain you're not using. So, and different people are different um, skills, and I know music and singing uses a different part of the brain. People that stutter, apparently, I have a cousin that stutters, and he's a musician. He's a singer. I think he plays a musical instrument also. So just really is the brain is a very interesting muscle organ. So yes, and we can all sing. We may not be all good at it, but we can all sing, and it doesn't matter how we view our singing. Just get out there and sing. A bird,
yeah, I agree.
a,
I
a
think
bird, a bird does not say, "Oh, I sound awful. I'm not going to sing anymore."
I like that. That's a good one. I'll use that. Yeah, just singing is just a way of expressing, and whether you're a singer that sings on stage or in the shower or you know in the car by yourself, then I think there's a lot of freedom that comes from singing that sort of lets a lot of emotion out, and it actually draws in emotion too. For me, I think it's a really big part of my stress relief and is to sing and sort of have that freedom to sort of release emotions and things like that. So yeah, it's been a really big part of my journey with happiness and getting through any sort of depressing times.
Yeah, well, people may not know this about me, but in my childhood growing up years, my family were in catering entertainment industry, and and even though I had a really hard time with with a lot of things in that sector, mainly energy levels, and I was really quite ill most of the time. What I did like, what I did really like and enjoy is the musicians and the music, and I'm from a Maltese background, so I just had it in my head when I was a kid that the English songs can be translated to Maltese. And so I started to play around with this concept, and sometimes it really worked. So it's really I'm bilingual, so it was really funny. And people would laugh and like they would laugh at I think they laughed at a few things that I could come up with this idea, and also that it worked sometimes. And I do love languages and the study of words and how they connect with people. So that's a really big interest of mine. I mean, also what makes me happy is studying. And you don't have to do it formally. You can do it. There are quite cheap courses that you can do. In um, there's a centre close by. Lots of centres actually. But there's the Hunt Club, which does a lot of community-based education. With a concession card, it's quite cheap. There's also community houses that do lots of different courses, and that makes me really happy to learn new things.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to add?
Well, I guess just to add on to what makes you happy, just one more thing is watching comedies. I guess that's a big one for me. Like having a bit of a rough day, or just throw on a comedy to make you laugh, and everything's a lot better after that.
So, what's your favourite comedy, Anthony?
Well, I like a lot of different ranges of comedy. I like a lot of dry humor. I can't think of any on the top of my head. I just like to have a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, comedy is interesting. It's evolved over the years. So, what was like appropriate, like, some of the older comedy shows like Benny Hill. I don't know
Yeah,
whether it was Benny Hill. What in today's world, it's quite sexist. But I still laugh. Like,
yeah,
I still laugh at things that, like, in today's world, is not considered politically correct. I
yeah,
I think that politically correct sometimes can go to the extreme,
yeah,
and unfortunately, I do still watch things like Two and a Half Men, which is very very sexist. But
yeah,
like I still laugh. Like
yeah,
I know that I've got boundaries, personal boundaries of my own, but I still laugh at these shows But there are other shows like the Three Stooges, some of the older stuff that are not that's not so not so. It's more. I think they call it slapstick.
yeah.
Slapstick. I Love Lucy. Some of the older ones. They're really good. And yes, so there's also something called laughing yoga, which is sort of like it's been on TV also. So it's a way to force laugh, and there are actually groups that do laughing yoga.
Okay.
Have you heard of it, Anthony?
No, but I can imagine because I've seen and I know of a lot of studies that say that if you put yourself in a certain state, like say force yourself to even smile or force yourself to laugh, then it affects your brain. It actually tricks your brain into believing that you're actually feeling that actual emotion,
Yeah,
and it actually goes the opposite way around. If you can tell your brain that you're happy, then your body will reflect that as well. And I think that's great.
Yeah, so I actually did an experiment with some of my clients from Scope years ago, and we tried laughing yoga, and it actually does work.
Mm.
So I encourage people to try it at home and try it at home on your own in privacy of your own home, and then you can join a group. The actual groups that do laughing yoga. Also, the different genres of music like meditation. Meditation is a really good one to as a it's actually a music genre, but it calms and relaxes the mind and it evokes good endorphins. And my faith community, my current priest, most weekends he does a Christian meditation, and for people that are not really familiar with meditation, it's like a bit of an introduction. And I mean, a lot of people are influenced by our leaders and priests and leaders in the community. Um, you know, I'm very cautious about. I'm very cautious about about like. I'm very not cynical, but I've got a discerning mind. So, just because people are priests. I go by actions rather than words. But yeah, so having a discerning mind is really important in life. Yeah. I know a lot of the older communities, including my parents, revered priests, and that really annoyed me because people are human, and we might go into certain things in the community, but yeah, so I actually used to sort of like I have a discerning mind, which is sort of like led me to the work I do today in the sector and in the community. I think it might be a good idea, Anthony, if we play the second video, and
Yeah.
this video is it's a talking video of what makes people happy, and it's actually a video created by the good people of Real Voice. Real Voice is a self-advocacy group. I think it's the oldest self-advocacy group in Victoria, and it's done lots of good work in releasing people that were institutionalized. So yes, so let's just play that video, and then we'll come back.
I'm happy when I'm around other happy people.
I'm happy to be around Sally.
I'm happy because everyone's here. I've got two funny ways of liking people. When I'm around different people and people around me look like people who I know and they've got the same faces, people who they look like who I know and the same colour hairs as they look like who I know, and their names are exactly the same as people who they look like who I know. Well, then that's my funny way of liking people, and I could also use people's voices to talk that makes me feel funny and happy and like people.
I'm happy around my daughter.
I'm happy to be out in the big world.
I'm happy being here with all my friends.
I'm happy when it's peaceful.
I'm just happy when everybody is happy.
I'm happy around positive people.
I'm happy back Sally's back.
I'm happy as being free as a bird and with the Indigenous people too. On me being Indigenous as well.
I'm happy because I'm playing and singing for you all and it's making me happy.
I am happier because I can tap with the music that we play.
I'm happy to be here and happy to be here with all my friends from Reinforce.
I'm happy because someone else is laughing.
I'm happy just being me.
I'm happy.
I'm happy because Reinforce is the best. They're the greatest group. I'm really happy with Reinforce. Ha ha ha. Happy, 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 happy. Ha ha ha.
I'm happy because I'm here today. I haven't been part of Reinforce for nearly 2 years, but I'm happy to be here today.
Hey! We're happy to have you, Craig.
I'm happy because John's home with me all the time.
I'm happy because I'm here at Ross House.
I'm happy because I'm here at Reinforce.
What did you think of that, Antony?
Yeah, that was great. Just, so many different ways that, people can be happy, and, the group just having their, connection together. You could really, feel that, it was a great environment to be in. And I would say, on that note, it would be, for those of you watching out there, we'd love to hear, what makes you happy. So, put in the comment section, like, tell us what makes you happy. We'd love to hear all your thoughts.
Yes, absolutely, Antony. And that brings us to the end of this session. We'd like to wish you good mental health. We hope that some of our suggestions you can try it out, and let us know how you go. So on that note, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.
Catch us on Your Life, Your Voice YouTube channel, live every Monday fortnight or on demand.
We would like your comments and suggestions on topics that you would like us to explore. Leave your comments on YouTube comments section.
Please feel free to email us on dndyourlifeyourvoice@gmail.com or contact us via the Migrant Resource Centre Northwest Region Inc. Phone number 1300 676 044. 1300 676 044.
Diversity in Disability is a project of the Migrant Resource Centre Northwest Region Incorporated, and would like to thank the management for funding this project, especially living through the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic has been difficult for people with disabilities living in isolation.